At the end of the day, we are marketing the story of us, whether it's the story of us as a serious actor or artist, which is what Maya is talking about wanting her story to be, or the story of us as, hey, I'm a personality, I'm a star. And that's a consciously cultivated thing as well. And I don't think that either is better or worse. What is up? My name is Douglas Nyback. This is DNA. Maya Hawke said a bunch of really interesting stuff about what it is to be an actor in the modern age on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz. And I think it's very interesting and relevant for us to talk about because this is an acting channel and we're here to make you better. And we got to make you better in the modern world because we can't act in the past and we can't act in the future. We can only act in the moment. So let's get into it. All right. I want to preface this all by saying I got a lot of respect for Maya Hawke. She is getting better and better with every project that she does. And that's great. Like, it's such an underrated thing for actors who are coming up that I always am very pleasantly surprised with, getting better in every instance. And she very clearly takes the art of acting seriously, and I quite enjoy that. So out of the gate, just mad props to Maya Hawke. Now we're going to get into what she said because it's cool and I think it's worth talking about. So here we go.
How do you deal with the press that comes with releasing an album, being in Stranger Things, being in a Quentin Tarantino movie, etc.?
I have no problem with it when it feels like the promotion of a thing that everyone got together to make together. Like being here for this movie. When it feels like we're promoting this movie and saying, come see this movie, we all worked really hard on this. I did my little part.
She's talking about the job of promoting films and promoting oneself as an actor, which is, if you get to the stage in your career where this becomes a problem for you, you have made it. But it is a very real thing that is a challenge. And it's cool to hear her talking about it so candidly.
But thousands of people did their part and they deserve to be on the stage just as much as me. And let me tell you who they are and what they did. That, totally comfortable and fun. And talking about what the material is about and what the point we were trying to make. When it edges into feeling, excuse me.
We're getting personal and deep and your phone rings?
I don't know. I just like this moment where she has a fun moment with people in the crowd. I think it's very likable. I like that she talks about the collaborative nature of film and television here. Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people go into making a show. And this, I think, is a challenge for all actors. Is you're weirdly the focal point of that entire mechanism. Everything is built around getting the shot and you are the focus of the shot. So like hundreds of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, all to get to the place where the camera is pointed at you on that day, on that set, in that moment, on that location, and the camera's on you. And so it makes sense that the people who are the focal point of which this entire mechanism is directed are the ones who have to talk about it. That does make sense because at the end of the day, you're the figurehead. There's an entire football team out there, but the quarterback is the one who is the figurehead of the entity of the team and generally is the one who has the responsibility whether it succeeds or fails, whether that's fair or not. If a film fails, very often the actors get blamed, but like the boom operator doesn't get blamed. The costume designer doesn't get blamed. So she's completely correct, I think, that like all of these people could be here because the job is equally important. And I think that because the camera's pointed at us, when it succeeds or fails, we're kind of the ones to blame, even though the failure of a project is also a collaborative effort. So to me, it makes sense that actors are that figurehead. They're the ones who captivate the public and the public wants to hear from in promotion. And I do love that she's so candid about the collaborative nature of film and television, because if you haven't been on a set yet, if you're here on this channel and you haven't spent a lot of time on film sets or you've never been on one yet, you'll learn that really, really fast. Like, whoa, I'm a cog in a wheel. Like, and the wheel is gigantic. And for whatever bizarre reason, that whole mechanism is pointed at me when I'm doing my job. It's fascinating, weird, mind thing that we do for a living.
When it I'm just joking. When it edges into feeling like self-promotion and when it feels like you're doing press and it's not clear what you're promoting, it's like, wait, hold on, what am I talking about? Like, just you. Like, and I think that it's a little bit old-fashioned, and I definitely think...
Okay, I kind of love this because she's clear about it. So there is this thing in celebrity existence right now, which is very much like the musical theater kid at a party, where they get to the party and they're like, don't make me sing, don't make me sing, okay, I'll sing, don't make me sing, okay, I'll sing. And all they want to do is sing. There's this thing in celebrity culture right now, which is like the effort to publicly punish people for taking away celebrity privacy while constantly begging for the attention of the world. And that push-pull to me is like rife with hypocrisy. And what I really love and what I think is so refreshing about Maya's take here is that for her, and I gotta specify this, for her, it seems like she's very clear on, I'm here to promote the work, I'm here to promote this story, I am not interested in promoting myself. And I think she backs that up in the way that she's existing in the cultural zeitgeist. I don't think she's constantly courting fame. And I think that she's really consciously building a career where the work comes first, speaks first, and where she is the most devoted to getting better and better at the job, which I think is just really fantastic. And if I'm a young actor and I'm coming up, this is the kind of mentality that I would want to model who I am and how I'm building myself from a persona standpoint in the industry. Because I think the more early on that you can make it about the work and the less you can make it about yourself, the more longevity you will build for yourself within the industry. And I think Maya is doing a really admirable job. And more impressively, I think she's doing a really admirable job of communicating all of this with eloquence. Like, you can see whom she was raised by. And when you watch Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman in interviews, they're highly, highly eloquent people that are deeply devoted to the process of filmmaking and acting. It's so wonderful to see such a young woman so eloquent and so clear on where her value systems lie in this industry.
Loops back into the way that I was raised, but I think that the line between
she talks
actor
about
and
how she was raised
celebrity
here.
has gotten extremely blurry. And I think, in some ways a celebrity is someone where their personality is what is the draw. And what I always wanted to be was an actor, where the work is what the draw is, not the personhood. But the industry keeps changing and you have to change with it.
This is interesting because she creates a difference between celebrity and actor. I don't know that it's ever been clear since film and television began. I think that, I mean, honestly, even like you think of the Broadway stars of the of the vaudeville era, all of that, like they, within the smaller communities, they would have been celebrities in those communities. They would have been personalities in those communities. You can find news clippings of those people. Unfortunately, it's not the actor who's in control of perception of them. So no matter what, personality and celebrity are going to be intermixed with art. That's just the way it is, who we are as artists. That's something that I don't think we have control over. But what I think is really interesting is that you can choose in which direction you are going to lean. The wave of public attention is something that you can't really fight because it will bring you too short. You can decide to like truly fight it, and then it's going to knock you off your board and drag you to the shore no matter what, like a t-shirt and a washing machine, or you can choose to surf it. And I think we can lean one way or the other. One leaning into, I'm going to build a career based on my personality, and that's totally valid and leads to a different set of responsibilities as a performer, a different set of struggles, and a different set of solutions to problems that lead to problems that lead to solutions that lead to problems. Same thing with if you want to be known predominantly as an actor, an artist. So I think what's happening here is, for me, what's true is that we can't determine how society is going to view us. Our personalities and our art are going to get wrapped up in one big wave, but we can decide which way we want to lean. And I think that's what she's talking to here. And I hope that sort of image of the wave and how we choose to surf it, though we are out of control to a degree, is helpful as you think about this as actors.
And understand that all of these things are getting blurred, and there are wonderful, incredible actors I admire whose personalities we all know very well.
This is the thing. I think these things have always been blurred. It's just now social media exists. You go back into the days before social media, personality and celebrity and art have always been interwoven like strands in a rope. That's just the way it is. As soon as you put yourself in front of the camera, your personality becomes a part of the product. it becomes a part of the art. Like, we can't act under pseudonyms. That doesn't exist. You know, we can't be Stephen King as actors and, you know, create, I think it was Richard Bachman, I can't remember, but where he just started writing books under a different name because he got tired of being reviewed in a certain way. Actors don't get that because the camera's pointed at us. So it has always been blurred. And I think, and we're about to get to the social media part of this clip, but I think it's really worth discussing the challenges that we're all facing right now with social media. And let's keep watching.
And so I think just figuring out the footing in these changing times of social media and public personality. And
I gotta just say, I also love that she doesn't label one or the other as better. She's very clear about that. And I think it's extremely admirable. Highly intelligent person.
Also how difficult it is to get things made. And it's like, you know, where it's like, I don't care about Instagram. Instagram sucks. Right, but just so you know, if you have over this many followers, you can get the movie funded.
This is something here, it has always been difficult to get things made. There is this narrative right now where people are like, it's so hard to get things made. It's so hard to get things made. I have been in this for 20 years. Like, there are people who are producing who've been producing for their entire lives, 50, 60 years. I don't think there's ever been a period of time where any producer in the history of the world at any budget level has been like, very easy to get movies made these days. Just, they are just pouring the money spigot at anything. It's always been hard. Otherwise, everyone would do it. Hey, it's 11/11. This is the magical time of magic where I thank you for any actors out there who are new or wanting to learn some of the foundations or have a chance to work with me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me directly on Instagram at @DNybackAct. And I also have a series of online acting courses called the Foundations Program that teach you all of the foundations of building a bookable on-camera audition, from all of the screencraft to character building, relationship building, purpose, objectives. Anyone who comments in this video and is subscribed is entered to win a Foundations program. You can also check out our Patreon. All of my online courses are up there, plus bloopers, monthly blogs, full acting coaches that I've done with some of my most elite clients. So let's get back into the video.
Well, I want to make the movie, so like it's a really confusing line to walk. And I've talked to so many smart directors who tell me that they get I'm talking to them about how I'm going to delete my Instagram, and they're like, just so you know, when I'm casting a movie with some producers, they hand me a sheet with the amount of collective followers I have to get of the cast that I cast. So if you delete your Instagram and I lose those followers, understand that these are the kinds of people that I need to cast around you. So and so it's confusing, and I find I'm thinking out loud with you right now. I think this will be a lifelong question for me.
Okay. I absolutely love the way that she talks about that. I love that she ends that saying, this is going to be a lifelong thing for me. And she does this thing in the middle of it where she's like, which to me just speaks to a discomfort that I think so many actors feel within their relationship to social media. And I think it's incredibly admirable that she just seems so willing to just allow it all to be a little sticky and not say, and I have the answers for this. And I'm going to straight up tell you, I don't have the answers for this. I want to unpack it. She talks about wanting to delete her Instagram, and then a director saying to her, okay, cool. Well, if you delete your Instagram, I am being handed a sheet from producers where it's like, I have to have this many collective followers with my cast. So these are the people that I have to cast around you. This isn't new. It's just different. In the 80s and 90s and 2000s, in the pre-social media days, and really like pre-Marvel, like tentpole based on IP blockbuster industry that we've created. What she's describing here is box office gross guarantee. That's what this has always historically been for talent, right? Like, now there are way fewer actors who guarantee box office. You got like the Tom Cruises, like, I mean, man, there is an argument to be made that it's just Tom Cruise now. But the people who guarantee that, say, $300 million in, foreign gross is going to come into this movie. Therefore, of course, we're going to greenlight a $150 million budget. That makes sense. The attention economy used to be based on box office performance. And we wouldn't have been talking about Instagram followers. We would have been talking about, I can't get this movie made because this person doesn't have any box office draw, right? Like, that was what we used to talk about. That was the conversation prior to the internet days and when everybody was going to view movies in person. person, right? Which the pandemic to a degree kind of killed. The pandemic and also just like catastrophic mediocrity from blockbusters over the past few years. Let's be real. I think in general, story is king. Story is king. If the story is good, if the content is truly good, I think it was Bob Evans who actually said content is king, but he said it at a time before content meant like social media dribble. Create something good and people will go. And that has remained true even in this like box office slump world that we're living in now. But the attention economy has shifted away from do you or do you not guarantee box office gross? And it has become how many eyeballs are on you personally. Because, I mean, that's free press. Every single eyeball guarantees press for the movie that the producers don't have to pay for. It guarantees the movie being put out in front of these people, which is great for streamers. It guarantees people getting clicks, getting minutes watched. You know, we're now measuring the success of projects in like how many millions or billions of minutes have been watched. And that's just the way it is. It's not what was your box office gross when you were this talent. It's how many eyeballs do you bring with you into a project. And to me, that makes sense. I don't like it necessarily, but I also didn't like the box office draw thing because there were plenty of actors who were like not good actors who guaranteed box office draw that were put into movies they never should have been in. And it should have gone to an actor who was theoretically better. This is a tale as old as time. Right? Like, why do painters, for the most part, only become extremely successful after they die? Because the story gets better. Like, at the end of the day, we are marketing the story of us. And whether it's the story of us as a serious actor or artist, which is what Maya is talking about wanting her story to be, or the story of us as, hey, I'm a personality, I'm a star. And that's a consciously cultivated thing as well. And I don't think that either is better or worse. Just like I don't think Instagram metrics are better or worse than box office draw was in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And I think that actors right now, where we get caught up is we're creating friction around these stories internally, rather than saying, where is my path to success within the reality that I'm living in now, along with putting every effort I possibly can into always growing and being better as an actor, which I cannot stress enough. I think Maya does with every project she does. Where do I need to put my focus so that I make myself more castable and more hireable? Do I like that that's a reality? No. Do I wish that it was only about, hey, are you or are you not good? Yes. But here's the thing, it never has been about that. There are way too many things that go into the casting process that have nothing to do with are you or are you not good. We've talked about this on the channel many, many times. Usually in casting, the only person who believes you're not capable of doing the thing if you're being brought in for it is you. And I find myself struggling in the same way that Maya Hawke has here. In that I don't have any answers here, but I do know that fighting the reality you're in takes up a tremendous amount of bandwidth. And that bandwidth can be directed into accepting the reality and asking yourself, okay, one, am I getting better every day as an actor? Yes or no? If no, how can I get better every day? Two, if social media metrics do matter, which they do, it's debatable how much, but they do matter. Is there a way for me to be creating content for myself that feels true to my value system and adds value to the people who are interested in me, adds value to their lives? How can I be of service to them in an authentic way? Because there is the attention economy, and at the core of the attention economy, and I truly believe this, is the authenticity economy. So if you take your focus away from, I don't like that social media is a thing. Cool. Yeah, get it. It is. How can I devote time and energy into researching how to use these mediums in a way that feels right to my value system and adds value to the lives of my audience? To me, I think if that is the way you're approaching it, you will see your following grow and you will continue to build and market yourself and make yourself more valuable to productions. I think that's just the only way that I can wrap my mind around. That is literally one of the reasons why this friggin' channel exists. Because one, I'm an acting coach and I have a lot of information that I can give to actors, and I want to be a lighthouse for confused actors to be able to point themselves at. That's a major part of why I created this channel. The other was I know that I need to create a social media audience for myself. Posting pictures of my lunch and me rock climbing, and snapshots from my trailer on set just didn't feel genuine to me. So I wanted to create a very simple metric, which is like, is every piece of content that I'm putting out helping make actors' lives better? And if the answer is yes, then I put it out. If the answer is no, then I don't. That's how I've found I can make this social media thing work for me as I grow my acting career, as I grow my writing career, as I grow my coaching career. I basically just wanted to say that I appreciate Maya Hawke. I appreciate everything that she says in this. I think it's eloquent, and I think most importantly, she's so willing to live in the struggle of it. And I hope that she finds an avenue through all of this where she doesn't have to devote bandwidth into the struggle, but instead can just devote bandwidth into the things that she feels provide the most value for her audience. And in her case, because of her station, it could very well just be make the movies and talk about the movies, right? Like, because she's at that level. And that is wonderful. And then I think we can let go of the things that are out of our control. How do you feel about this? I'm fascinated about it. So let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, comments, confusions, or complaints. Follow us if you're not already across all social media platforms. We are at DNIBackAct on everything. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, go be people.